Welcome to the Screen Time Continuum. We are here on this Sunday coming at you with House of the Dragon, episode 9. We are here and it is, well, hey, it's Sunday, so you guys know what we're here to do. We're here to give you some review. Right now, I'm going to give you your spoiler alert before we get to anything. Again, before we even introduce ourselves, this is your spoiler warning. If you have not seen episode 9, The Green Council of the House of the Dragon series, turn away now. This is your spoiler warning because we're going to go deep. We're going to tear it apart. We're going to rip it to shreds. It just is what it is. Well, I think I've given you enough time. If you haven't walked away now, that means you don't mind spoilers and you want to know what's going on in this episode. From there, I'll say my name is Keelan and I am here with Nick. What's going on, Nick?
Hey, man. Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday, man. Happy Sunday indeed. And we also have Mike. What's going on, Mike? Thanks for joining us, brother.
Greetings and salutations, gentlemen.
Salutations.
Doing well.
Salutations. That's very nice of us to start with such a nice and polite intro, considering this is not a polite episode.
We got to keep the profanity to a minimum the first 10 minutes. So.
I mean, it's just how it goes,
Can I say heck?
You can say heck. Yeah.
Okay. Just checking.
Okay. Borderline. But yeah, so here we are, guys. If you've been here, we've been here from the very beginning of the Game of Thrones messy little cousin show called House of the Dragon. Episode 1 through 8 are already cataloged, and we are here to cover episode 9. So, fellas, let's just kind of weave our way into it. What are your initial impressions, your first thoughts about episode 9? Mike?
It was fantastic. It's the best show I ever did see. There was lots of twists and turns and ups and downs. And I can't wait to see season 2.
But we have another episode. Why are you so excited about that already?
What? More?
Yeah.
I mean, I knew that. I knew that. I'm just excited because, this was the most Game of Thrones episode that ever happened. You know what I'm saying? It was explosions and dead civilians because, you can't have a Game of Thrones without dead civilians who didn't do nothing, just happened to be there.
Yeah. Great observation. Yep. Great observation. I actually forgot about that. We haven't had a lot of casualties of nonsense, but we got enough of that in this episode. You're absolutely right. Didn't think about that.
Fantastic.
Yeah, what about you, Nick?
What are your all those dead people?
Say it again.
Love to see all those dead people.
What about you, Nick? What are your first thoughts, your first impressions of episode 9?
Well, if I'm going to be critical about this show, it's not because I would put it in any ballpark near Rings of Power. I think I'm critical of the show just because I don't really like the way it's structured. And that might not be the show's fault. It might just be the source material. I have a hard time with a lot of the elements of the story that happen because I feel like they just happen because they have to happen. And there were a few moments like that in this episode that just remind me of this. Like, I don't like having to have things happen just because the story says it does. And it doesn't really make sense within the context of anything. And it feels like the whole endeavor of this story is predicated on a whole bunch of chosen misunderstandings, and that becomes really tedious to watch as an audience. It might be interesting as a history book, but for me as an audience member, I'm really sort of rolling my eyes at every snafu that happens, every miscommunication, every sort of forced conflict. So that's where I'm at.
I understand. It's funny that that's your take. That's Mike's take, and my take is
no. Mike said it's the best ever.
No. I'm saying that you guys had your separate takes. That was your take. His take was his take.
Mm-hmm.
You know what the best
Ironically,
part was?
What was
That very first scene that they do in every episode where somebody's got to walk for at least 15 minutes somewhere.
that? Yeah,
Love that part.
they like that a lot.
they have to
Yeah.
tell you how big the castle is.
Right.
Don't you want to know how big my house is? 15 rooms.
Right.
Um, that kind of is to my point. It sounds like Nick, you're again tired of the attempt. It's kind of like, yo, I see you standing on that diving board. Are you gonna jump or no? Like we just gonna sit here? And like Mike, you're just pleasantly impressed for whatever reason at the moment. I am glad I saw this episode. I'm not mad at it. I'm not super happy about it. So I think this is going to be a very interesting episode because it seems like we got high, middles, and lows when it comes to the emotion gauge. But yeah, my initial impressions or thoughts of this episode, it was kind of fun, but it was also long and it didn't need to be. Talk about 20 minutes of information in an hour.
Yeah,
But
a little bit drawn out. Yeah.
But hey, I guess when you like being in a room with people, you'll do whatever it takes to stay on the camera.
Yeah. I see a lot of people that are really excited about this show, and honestly, if you really like the show, I think that you have every justification to sort of like it, because I see where the merit is. I don't know if it's just not landing for me personally. I feel like maybe it's me that's the problem. No, it's the children that are the problem.
Well, to be fair, I'm trying to sell out and get us an endorsement. So.
Oh, okay, cool. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah. I
Hey,
think
George.
George. I think it's really great production. It's very good acting and costuming, and I do feel like I'm in Westeros again. I think I just have an issue with this. It seems to me that the creator isn't really taking liberties to sort of flesh out some things, and there's a lot of these high points where things happen in the book because it's sort of like a historical documentation of all of the things that happen. And so you see like these things happen on the screen, but there's really not a lot of context. There's no follow-up. There's no questioning about what's happening. And none of this is more apparent than with Kristen Cole. Kristen Cole at this point is a character that I just can't wrap my head around why he's even a character anymore.
He's Cartman at this point. He does what he wants.
It's insane to me that somebody is allowed to murder a high lord of the King's Council and there be no consequences.
Does what he
I mean,
apparently that's the power of being
the entirety of Game of Thrones.
Plot armor.
The entirety of Game of Thrones happened because Ned Stark died.
Yep.
It's jarring to me when this, and I said it to myself, like, I was like, it's just senseless violence. When Game of Thrones, when the violence happens, it was justified and it had been, brewing, or it was a part of a character flaw or something like that. This to me just feels like, okay, this guy needs to die. And we know that Kristen Cole kills him in the book. So let's just do it right now because he's got to get out of here anyways.
I mean,
yeah. Go ahead,
wasn't that the head maester?
It was Beesbury. I don't know what his position was. Maybe master.
I think it's like the master of coin or something.
Maybe.
Oh, wow. That guy's been pretty important.
You would think he was important.
Right. Apparently not.
I'm currently looking through my notes trying to remember the episode that I said that Game of Thrones is back.
We're gonna make you eat those words.
I believe that was episode 7.
Yeah,
I think it was as well.
Ayla says, I think it's missing a Ned Stark character who gets wronged and we can rally behind. I think you're right in the idea that it's missing a sympathetic character. None of these characters are sympathetic.
Is that what they were trying to do with Rhaenyra, though?
Yes. But on the back end.
That's
Yeah.
You're
terrible.
supposed to feel bad for her after she's done so much.
I
Right.
never felt bad for her. Not really.
But we were supposed to.
Why?
Well, and this whole episode
Sorry.
this whole episode can only happen because Rhaenyra isn't there.
Mhm.
Conveniently, the day after her father passes away, which was
I thought
the
she was
night,
there.
which was the night that they were all at the dinner.
Right.
Right. So the theory is that when they decided to leave at the break of dawn was right after he had went unconscious, but he was supposedly asleep, and they are leaving. So nobody, it takes, I guess, 20 minutes to get to the ship and about 20 days after 3 months to sail home.
They're on dragons. They're on dragons.
Right.
They
I
can
was
be there
thinking like,
within 10 minutes.
right.
So it
I don't
seems
know.
like a
I
dragon
would
rider
never
could've
take a
went
ship if I could ride a dragon.
Right. I mean, and as somebody who's like Rhaenyra, I know Rhaenyra's thing last episode was, let me go take the kids home and then I'll come back. But that was a really dumb decision. See, a lot of people have to make really stupid decisions in this show.
You said they have to?
Well, they have to because the story demands them to. The story demands Kristen Cole to murder somebody in the middle of the King's Council.
Yeah, you know what? So here's what I liked, but I didn't like him being able to just kill somebody. And at the same point of that, I appreciated, I can't remember his name right now, but the head of the King's Guard. I appreciated him standing up like, nah, if this is what's happening, I'm out.
Mm-hmm. I think his name is Westerly.
Right. Which initially you saw Kristen Cole feeling like he could stand against his superior.
Right.
Which shows you a whole level of like, all right, what's going on around here?
Apparently anything that man says is above everybody else, no matter what, because the queen said so in his heart. She said it.
In his heart.
In his heart.
Yeah, well, yeah, and
they hard for the queen.
They did share that moment with each other where she was like, of all the feelings that you have for me as your queen. I'm like, oh, what are you doing, lady?
I didn't see that coming.
She's been doing it the whole time. Right. Oh, yeah, exactly, Mike. Well, I didn't see that coming. Oh, zinger. Damn it.
You mean you simping for the queen? But do you think he got them cheeks?
No, I don't think nobody's touched her physically, but we'll get to some other stuff a little later.
I don't know. It's Game of Thrones.
Oh, yeah. Apparently it's Game with no shoes, but we'll get to that, like I said.
Oh, yeah. I wanted to talk about that.
We'll get there.
So initially Alicent goes and she tells her papa about the king being dead, etc., and then tells him this false wording because she doesn't understand or didn't know the prophecy, whatever. My question is the prophecy going to come up in next episode?
It has to some degree.
Right. They're going to be like, what did he say? Because how's it going to come up? Like, what's going to happen now? She's just going to come in on Dragonback?
It doesn't matter. And this is why it's so fucking stupid. You couldn't take the last word of the king before he dies as anything. Remember when freaking Ned had to get the signature of dying Robert and they still didn't take his word for it?
True, because he was on his deathbed.
Like, why in the world would anybody be like, oh yeah, yep, we'll believe it? And I understand it's because Otto wants it to happen and he's convinced the council that it should happen. I don't know.
They rule from fear. People are afraid of them because they've had power for so long. They really have no power. But when Alicent realized that there was already a plan in place, like the look on her face, yeah, that's when I started getting into this episode. That's when I was like, oh, this is gonna be good. Like,
Alicent
you didn't realize, huh?
I like Alicent's character a lot. I find her kind of interesting in the idea that she's trying to do whatever it takes to survive. But she's also got like this sort of psychotic side to her too, that she's in denial of almost.
Well, she is the self-fulfilling prophecy because everything she's doing is for her to survive, but it's drawing her closer to what she feared the most.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
And she doesn't see that, and I don't know how she don't see it.
I feel like she sort of sees it when she notices her father manipulating her, but then doesn't really care all that much because she is getting what she wants. I mean, she's the queen,
At the end of it
and
all.
her son is being the king now. So.
Yeah. That's why even when she was
Only
propositioned to
by
be in,
somebody else's will at this point.
Yeah, that's true.
that's all she knows.
Mm-hmm.
You know, yeah. That's all she knows. If she was not to have someone else driving the carriage, she'd be confused, I'm sure. So yeah, we already talked about Lord Beesbury speaks out. He gets his head slammed into the table and just bleeds out immediately.
That made me angry, though. To be fair,
What you mean? How so?
that's an old man. Just walked up and mashed his head in front of everybody. It's not like this is some regular old man.
It's true.
He's a lord of a house.
Right. That's true.
He's on the small council.
Right.
That's a big deal.
Right.
It's a big deal.
People go to
sweep that under the rug.
Like yeah.
And hang the other nobles.
Right. Ayla asks if she'll try to be queen if her son messes up. I think there is something there, but I think that might just be a tease at the, like maybe a callback to the Cersei thing because I think Cersei's really the first one that actually claims the throne that really doesn't have any claim to it.
I think she's the first female to actually put on the crown too.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
So what? After we have, she goes. She tells her dad. Then they find out that she's immediately trying to protect Rhaenyra and Daemon. Like I kind of appreciated that because she realized she wasn't in control anymore, and that this whole situation was about to go really bad. And everyone's
in this episode. I'm sorry.
No, yeah, go ahead. No, just everyone's against her. Like, period. Everyone is trying to take her down.
I think in this episode, I think in this episode she really realized how far out of the game she really was, because she thought she was a player somehow, and then she finding out like, oh, there's a whole secret network, and my own attendant is a part of it. That threw her for a loop.
A whole lot of everybody is a part of it.
Right.
Your dad is a part of some stuff too, sweetheart.
Yeah, Otto Hightower's got to go, man. He's got to go.
He got to get a little finger move.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's a good point. Because you think if you hit him off like that too, it makes him as significant as he is to the plot because he caused a lot of this. Just like Littlefinger kind of set a lot of pretty much everything that happened from the very beginning in motion, in fact.
Yeah. But so basically everybody's scrambling to find Aegon because he's a lout. He's a junkie.
Right.
He's just he's a
they,
lech. Yeah.
Are they looking for him or are they learning about him or both? How do you think about that? Because I feel like this was more so like, oh, let's find the deep dark sides of him.
Well, one of the brothers definitely found something he wasn't happy with, which is why he decides to defect, right?
True. Very true.
And yeah, we find out that he's hanging around child fighting rings.
What is that all about?
Having his own kids in them, apparently.
Man, those are his bastards. Kids in grown-up stuff so much.
I don't know, man. They like to do that. Shock value.
That man is 20 years old.
No, I mean those kids fighting each other. You mean?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just House of Dragons. That's just messy cousin. Just messy cousin shit. I mean, Game of Thrones got pretty crazy, but it didn't have that.
Yeah. Aegon.
Definitely the second time we saw a little kid get punched in the face.
Right. True. But remember, he had the whole little kid spy network too.
That's true. That is a different level of exposure. That's true.
Yeah, because who's paying attention to the little kids? And if they just standing around listening and getting paid for it so they can eat, man, what do they care?
They're gonna tell your business.
That's right. That's genius.
But
so then Jamaican accent lady is the one that has Aegon.
Oh, the white worm.
The white worm. The white worm man.
The white. Dang.
That accent is so stupid, man. I don't know who told her to do that accent, but it is
They
awful.
said it would work. She had to be from somewhere foreign.
Right.
Do you think Aemon? Because this is actually more. I don't like. Okay, she had him, and we know what they do to her later. Who do you think deserves to be king? Because Aemon is pretty pissed off. He almost feels like he deserves it. Like,
oh, I think Aemon deserves it over everybody.
How do you figure it?
He's got an eye patch. That's how I figure it.
Right.
He deserves it. He's a Bond villain. That's how.
Yeah.
Got it.
I mean,
yeah.
He had a glam up.
He did.
Yeah.
Definitely had a glow up on that one.
Definitely. They gave him some horse tranquilizers or something too.
That man's face is so angular. It's crazy. There's so many sharp edges on his face.
Exactly, Nick. That man that's supposed to be like 15.
Oh, I know, right? Yeah, he's
right.
He's like 6'7". Yeah.
Man.
I mean, really, the show is doing a good job about displaying that none of these people are fit to be the ruler.
Just nobody.
Nobody. Yeah, nobody's really fit. Rhaenyra.
You know what? I'm gonna disagree with that. Rhaenyra is probably the best one suited to be ruler because at least she, as messed up as she is, I think she's the lesser of all the evils.
Maybe
because she's a mom.
Because she's only affecting herself. She's not really messing with other people's lives.
That's true.
That's true.
But yeah, exactly. The problem is that we have psychopath Kristen Cole and some bastard children, and then Laenor.
Man, who are allowed to just flout the law of the land and the king's word.
Well, can we talk about one of two things is true. Sir Kristen Cole either is the smoothest man in all of King's Landing, or Rhaenyra got something between her legs that do something different to the rest of the world.
Hey, I don't know.
It's got to be true.
Hey, apparently it didn't work on one of them.
What you mean? It worked on Kristen Cole. It drove him crazy.
Her whole husband disappeared.
Yeah, after she told him he could go.
Yeah, so apparently it ain't that great.
She told him he could go. He was willing to change his whole lifestyle just to sit there.
Nah, they had tried that. They said that. They tried.
No, she said they tried. He said he was willing to do it again.
And he admitted that he never actually tried.
He admitted he never. Yeah, you're right. You're right. She said she wasn't going to actually try again.
It's so stupid. See, this is why this show is so damn stupid. Laenor admits in the show that he never actually tried to have a child with Rhaenyra. Come on, man.
Yeah, man, that's all you had one job.
Exactly.
One job.
Exactly.
All you had to do, player.
That's one thing. Just do one thing. Meanwhile, Rhaenyra is like, "Oh, that's fine. I'm just gonna have 5 different children from different men."
Yeah, pretty much.
Because I'm the heir to the Iron Throne, and nobody's gonna care.
I do what I want.
Dude, see, this is why the logic stuff just bothers me, because this whole story is illogical. It makes no sense.
It doesn't. Two also things that don't make sense. Did it seem like old boy was running?
Which one?
The one that they hung, the noble guy, the nobleman.
Yeah, another noble lord of probably a prominent house that was hung and left in the circle of the Red Keep. I'm sure his armies and his bannermen are going to be fine with that.
Yeah,
right. Plot armor.
He seemed to be leaving under regular speed and no duress.
Right.
Yeah, he did. He just seemed pretty like, I'm going to go out for a morning ride.
All right, now that business done, y'all have a good day now.
Right. Yeah, he didn't even have luggage with him.
Nothing.
My first question would have been like, well, am I under arrest, a house arrest, or anything like that? I mean, what am I doing wrong here? I thought I was free.
Rules don't matter anymore. Apparently Game of Thrones was the more civilized era.
They got so nervous you couldn't do nothing. You better not walk out that gate.
Right.
What you mean you coming outside your room? Stay in your room. We'll be back.
Oh man, I swear I hope the sea snake gets his energy back and then just lays waste to the
Right?
Greens.
If he gonna die, he better die on Dragonback, damn it.
Right. I don't
That
like
would
that
be
they've
good.
taken him out of the season too. That is
Think he's
kind of
done.
annoying. I don't know if he's coming back. Maybe he'll come back in the next episode, but like
But doing what? Because he's supposed to be sick. I get you.
he's wounded off screen and we haven't seen him. Almost like the actor dropped out or something. Like,
And they
Yeah.
just never disclosed it.
yeah.
This is what it looks like.
I mean, it does kind of.
It's like, this is what it looks like. But so Rhaenys was a prisoner, but she was saved by Sir Eric or Sir Arik. I don't remember which one it was, Eric or Arik.
They
It
both
was
look the
Eric.
same.
Right. Twins.
Yeah.
Go figure.
Are any of the characters actually memorable?
No.
I mean, it's great that Keelan has attention to detail because I wouldn't be remembering those names for sure.
I for sure
Yes.
don't.
Nope.
It takes some rewinding and pausing sometimes.
Mm.
Just being honest. It's like, wait, what was their name? Like, oh, okay. Oh shit, it's two of them. Oh, that's why I got confused. Okay, got it.
Right.
That's literally
So
how it went. Because I
So
always
did
thought
one
it was
betray the
whenever
other? Is that what happened there?
Yes.
Yes.
That's
One's a douchebag, one's not.
I don't even
Yeah,
know. I
who's
wouldn't
the
even know how to
douchebag?
explain that one.
The douchebag is not the one who walked away.
Right.
Wait, what? The
one who
douchebag is
walked
the one
away-
that fought?
Yes.
But I think the one that walked away is siding with Rhaenyra. He's like, he doesn't want them to do a hostile takeover.
Right.
Yeah,
But it's
so
why
the
he
one
doesn't
that-
want them to do a hostile takeover because it wasn't the wishes that like he doesn't believe it's what it is. That's why I
If
don't
you
believe
were if you were loyal to the king, you know what it was, and that's
Right.
where that's
Everybody
what it
knows.
boils down to.
Yeah.
And
Well,
that's
and
what makes his brother a dickhead. Is his brother just wants a office? I mean, officer spot or officer position.
right. Yeah, and the way that all of these noble people just bent the knee. Remember when Daenerys
Fear.
came to Westeros, and was the Tullys were told to bend the knee and they'd be spared, and the House of Tully did not bend his damn knee, and they got blown out by a dragon. Yeah, where was that in this? I mean, like one person stood up.
They escorted them out politely.
Two
Hold on,
people.
wait. Two, yeah, they escorted them out. Nah, son, I wanted to see some heads rolling.
Yeah, at least make it like a firm stance. Somebody have some backbone or something. I don't know.
Somebody stand up for your number. Stand up. That's all I'm saying. I expected to see more fight back from the people who were
I
going to
did
stand
too,
up.
to be
That
honest.
just didn't happen.
I expected to see a little bit more honoring of their oaths to Rhaenyra.
Right.
Yeah.
I really did. I didn't think they would be that soft.
I mean, this
Right.
is only 3 or 4 days after the king makes an official proclamation to the High Court about Rhaenyra being the heir.
Air still.
Exactly.
What? This is the whole problem, right? If Rhaenyra was there, if she didn't just leave because her kids were bickering, then this whole thing wouldn't have happened.
Right.
Yeah, I don't like it. That's bad to me. That's not good storytelling. I mean, I know that
No.
they're only working with plot points, and they don't, but admittedly, a lot of people have criticized this story in the book, not just the show. So I don't think it's the show's fault. I just think it's like the structure of the story and the chain of events don't really work that well.
I mean, it doesn't add up. They had to start wrapping it up at the end of it. I think that's the only reason we're even a little more excited about these episodes is they had to crush more of the action into the time.
Right.
And so, like we said, Otto talks to the White Worm. They end up finding Aegon, who basically don't want to go. Eric and Arik had a dispute. Sir Kristen proves that he's the biggest douchebag with a sword.
Love that guy.
Apparently, nobody can beat him.
Yeah,
Right.
he's just tough.
Yeah.
Oh, and don't forget, Aemon can out wrestle Aegon now.
Well, Aemon is like 5 feet taller than Aegon, so I believe it.
Right.
That's true.
Yeah. I was hoping that Aemon killed Aegon right there.
I thought something was about to go down for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But once again, soft moments. It wasn't a girl, so he didn't have no strength.
Is Aemon hitting girls?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, he was the one that hit Lena. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And apparently he out there putting babies out in the world too.
Aemon? No, not that's Aegon.
That's Aegon.
No. Aegon.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
He's pulling a Robert. Just being indiscriminate about his bastards, which is even worse when you're a Targaryen, because those kids' hair just stands right out.
Oh man, right, easily. So I did think it was funny. I ain't gonna say I liked it. I thought it was interesting how Otto wanted to use Rhaenyra and Alicent being friends as a kid against Alicent. Like, you didn't even allow them to be friends. You ruined that, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Now you want to say she's being easy on her because you were once childhood friends. Like, look here, dude. I'll smite you right now. I swear it.
I swear it. Past all that childhood friendship stuff.
Apparently, he's not. He thought it was a weapon. He pulled it out.
How much more power can Otto have? I mean, like he's kind of that's basically it, right? Is he vying to be on the Iron Throne himself at some point?
Basically,
I think so.
He wants to control everybody on the Iron Throne.
Yeah.
Well, he's already the second in command. He's second only to the king, and the only thing greater than that is to be the king.
Right.
So
I was hoping that the first thing Aegon did was fire him.
Man, that would be nice.
That would be dope.
His birth. And I'm your grandfather. I'm your grandsire.
Yeah, well, I know you shady, so here we go.
Man, listen. But from there we get to what Mike is dying to talk about. Larys waiting in the Queen's chambers to tell her the White Worm and Otto Hightower's declarations.
Yes, ugly old lady. I mean, beautiful. Lady feet.
Yeah. I thought so. At first, I'm sitting there and they sit, and I was like, he getting real comfortable.
I was like, why she taking his shoes off?
No, right, exactly. So I was like, Larry's getting real comfortable. And I seen they showed his feet, and I was like, dang, is his foot getting worse? That's interesting. Why would they show us that? Then they show her feet, and she takes her shoes off, and I'm like, the Queen took her own shoes off?
I wasn't ready, to be fair.
Wait. Talk about not being ready. When she put them on the table, immediately, I was like,
she's got an OnlyFans.
I was like,
right?
Oh, this is like, listen. All right, look, we say a lot and we be serious, and this is kind of all in jest, but at the same time, that was fucking cleverly, tastefully done. That was some like.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I agree.
No.
You guys are sick.
Yes, I am.
That was terrible. It was like
this was the best episode of the whole show.
Right.
You're not only somebody's wife, you're somebody's mother. You are the queen, and you put your feet on the table. Yeah. Then you took your socks off.
Yeah.
Then you turned your back to him and you let him see your feet from the side.
Yes. It's a thing. Welcome to the real world, baby. This is how real deals happen.
All I'm gonna say is HBO.
They got a thing for fetishes of all kinds.
No, foot fetish is a lot.
They got of all kinds, different fetishes, all of them.
They let it fly. I tell you that. But yeah, HBO, what's up?
I'm just waiting for the dragon fetish.
I mean, that's the whole show.
Yeah, but I'm talking about something a little bit more. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Oh my God. See, this is why this happens. You guys need the faith of the seven. I tell you that.
Now listen, I'm not even like it's the fact that they did it.
No, I know.
Right?
I know.
And
it is a little bit OnlyFans referential.
Oh, that was the word taboo written all over the screen.
Yeah. Yeah. Because that's
for mainstream. Because it was okay. Let me explain. Because
I'm gonna be quiet.
I want to make sure that it's clear. You're watching what is right now considered a mainstream television show.
Mm-hmm.
What they did, and it's put in, well, I guess, what we call these medieval times?
Fantasy.
Medieval fantasy, fantastical times.
Mm-hmm.
We all understand that. For them to put that in there in that way, somebody did more homework on foot fetishes. This is why it was entertaining to me, because I had to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
I
Somebody
don't
did
think
more
anybody
homework.
had to do homework. I'm sure that the person who wrote that is into feet.
Oh
Okay,
yeah.
so a lifetime of homework. A lifetime of homework on
It's
foot
like saying
fetishes.
Tarantino does homework.
Right.
He
I was
doesn't do
just thinking the
homework.
same thing.
Very fair.
He knows what he likes, and
Right.
that's
Right.
what he shows.
I know what I know what I like. But they did more work behind that, the detail in that, than certain elements of the Game of the Thrones lore. Is kind of what I was getting at.
Well, great. That's exactly what I wanted details about. Thank you.
Well, they've already got little people
did
stuff
that.
going on. They've already got boy, girl. They've got a lot of different stuff. It's just one more new thing.
Yeah.
Think about it. All the fetishes are represented when you really think about it.
I don't want to.
Yeah, I mean it's a good example as to how Alicent is sort of a facade of morality.
Well, and that's more so what I was getting at as well, as far as back to the show. Sorry,
yeah, y'all need to take a cold shower, relax.
I mean, I think that's what I'm saying. I'm like, for me, it's not even like
no, I'm teasing.
But
I feel judged.
No, it's a good character point for Alicent, just as I said, because you start to see the cracks. Like she's not
right.
She's a hypocrite. She's she's trying to be religious and about
but
honor
Larys?
and morality. Larys is a scumbag, and she knows he's a scumbag.
She likes scumbags. That's what I'm kind of getting at. Like,
she doesn't like them. She just needs them. That's
no. I felt that way a few episodes ago. This episode makes me think she likes them, like she's into them. The way she taunts her Kristen, the way she allows Larys to use her feet as his muse, maybe, so to speak. Yeah. I think that's where she started to detest Viserys, because he had that nasty side to him, but when he started, she's
turned them into simps.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah.
By way of that, we said Berta.
I'll do anything, my queen. Just let me see your little feetsies.
Exactly. And by way of that, we're starting to see I don't want to say Maleficent, but yeah, essentially, we're starting to see the evil witch in her, like to understand the layers. Because the concept is supposed to be she's so pretty that she would never do these things.
No, I mean, the concept is she's the queen and she shouldn't have to do these things. I mean, if she was Cersei would have beat the crap out of Loras. And then had the mountain just smash his head into a wall.
But that's only because his name wasn't her brother.
No, but I mean, Cersei would have never let anybody manipulate her like that.
Mm-mm.
True. Yeah. No, you're absolutely right.
He wouldn't have got a chance to see them feet.
Nope. Man, that's what I'm saying. She would have never done that.
Except during the Walk of Shame.
Right.
Yeah. The walk of Cersei's feet. So yeah, past the feet, we got views of feet. Mm-hmm. So for anybody that wants to know the timestamp of the feet in this episode, no,
I'm sure it's already on, the
it's out there. Don't worry,
rants or whatever.
I'm positive it's out there. So Aegon is given a ceremony basically against his will. His mom convinced him, showed him the dagger, which guess what? He also doesn't know the prophecy, so he has no clue why she's thinking this. And if he had known the prophecy, we would have known when he saw the dagger that he knew the prophecy. But when he saw the dagger, we knew he don't know the prophecy.
And he knows that his father didn't want him.
He said straight up, he didn't even like me.
Yeah.
And I believe it.
Oh,
I believe it too.
Straight up. When he said that, I was like, okay, we were right.
He ain't supposed to know it, but he knows.
He knows.
You always know, apparently. And so Either way, he accepts, and you see that slow change where he doesn't want it. Inside, you see that slow change in him where he's like, "Wait, I could get used to this. This is this is
Mhm.
it. Oh, I get a sword. I get power. I get people chant my name. Everybody gonna do what I say."
I think he wasn't with it until the very end. Like, oh shit, this is really
He
happening.
wasn't with it until his brother bowed to him and his sister, I mean, his wife bowed to him, or his sister. His mom bowed to him. His grandfather bowed to him. And then the entire King's Landing population started chanting his name.
Oh, I thought it
Mhm.
erupted. My bad.
What?
Well,
Huh?
In
Oh yeah.
applause. I mean,
Oh
in
yes,
applause.
It did
in
erupt in applause.
applause.
Nice. I like how you did that. It did
It was
erupt
an
in applause.
uproar.
And if you ask me, he got that feeling that has been described time and time again by entertainers when you're on a stage in front of a certain number of people plus. Um, yeah, you kind of just that wave comes over you, that energy. And then a wave of energy came from beneath the floor, and it was Rhaenys bringing Game of Thrones back with her dragon. Finally, something
This
that
is a
looked
this is an affront to Jamie and Cersei. I will not have this.
a million.
I will not have this. You mean to tell me that she was able to break through the floor of
Mm-hmm,
a keep,
mm-hmm,
but Jamie and Cersei had to be crushed by rocks? Come
mm-hmm.
on, man.
But they didn't
No.
have a dragon.
No, 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 no. I'm not.
Yes.
I'm calling bullshit. She's on a back.
Reality No Script says drunk with power feeling.
Oh, for
Uh,
Aegon.
for
Yeah,
that
yeah,
Aegon
definitely.
description. Yes, yes,
Yeah.
exactly. The drunk with power feeling. Exactly. It's been described by so many different people. I just I know it's easy for most of us to kind of find a reference point for it, but exactly that's what turned his interest on.
Mhm.
He had no will. But guess what? Now he's thinking I could do everything I was doing as the king.
And people like me now. Normally, people hate me.
Right,
Yeah,
and that's why he
yeah.
didn't want it because
Guess
people
what?
already hated him.
They still do.
But
Oh,
now they just can't say it. That's why.
yep,
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
yep. And
That's
soon
okay.
enough, he'll realize that, and he won't like that because if there's one thing we've learned about young Aegon, he doesn't like being disingenuous. He wants you to know he's a drunk. He wants you to know that he has no savory thoughts in his body, and that is who he is. If you don't accept that, he's gonna go hide in a corner and do it anyway.
And
All
he's married to
hail
his sister, right?
Yeah, all hail Aegon II, the Junkie King.
The Junkie King. That is
Yes.
exactly what he will be known as. The
He
Junkie
kind of
King.
makes. He kind of reminds me of Jack White,
Jack White. Who's that?
the White Stripes dude from the
Oh
White
wow!
Stripes. Yeah, a little
Except
bit
with white hair.
with white hair. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
You lost
Dang,
me.
that's funny. Um, yeah, just a musician.
Don't worry.
He found out people liked him. Yeah, well, again, people. I don't even think people liked him, but yeah, he's given that impression. And any thought that people are into you, listen. Let me tell you a couple things. Bounce
Oh
a
yeah.
ball and see how much they'll pay you if you're really good.
What if he just turns into a total party boy and he's like, having like parties at the at the castle all the time? It's just a
I think he's
rave
going to turn into a
24/7.
tyrant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it kind of feels like that.
I
Yeah.
think what we saw with Aemon is the bottom of the mountain. I think that was the point of us seeing how evil he turned when he got the dragon and all of that, to show that when you give any of them, and you know what, maybe this is even a tip to how bad it'll be with Rhaenyra, because it started from the bottom. We see Aemon, we saw that, right? He basically turned into Captain Hook with a dragon. Um, then you turn around and we see Aegon. That don't look like that's gonna turn pleasant. And maybe there's something that it's being told to us about Viserys's children. They're all evil in their own way, but until they
Maybe
have
that's
the
where the
actual
mad
power,
title
it
comes
doesn't
from.
matter. Maybe the
The
power is what drives
Targaryen
them mad.
madness.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, reality no script said. Yeah, I think they'll have orgies. Yeah, that's where I
Oh,
see
for
it. I
sure.
see like Aegon will just be the party king. He'll just be having parties with wine and hanging out, and everybody will be like, "Come on, Aegon, you got to go to the High Council." And he'd be like,
Put your dick
"Nah."
away. We got a high council meeting.
He's just got a lampshade on his head and he's running around.
Hey, look, he gonna be thinking he a samurai before samurai was over in the area. That's gonna
Sorry
be
about that.
Yeah. Reality No Scripts asked if we've read the books. No, we have not. We are going in as normies on this one. So we are doing a lot of speculating. I know there are a lot of people who have read the books. But yeah, you won't be getting any spoilers from us because we have no clue. So
yeah, no book spoilers unless you haven't seen an episode. Then you get those spoilers from us.
Right, absolutely.
I just need to know if
yeah,
you've read the books. Is there any magic?
No.
Dragon. Well, apparently there was some magic, the magic of morality, because Rhaenys didn't blow their ass off the screen.
That's true. And she must have had some impervious like skin because again,
she bust through the thing on back of the dragon.
She bust through a floor, not even a wall. It wasn't like the Kool-Aid Man thing. It was through the floor.
I'm curious to know because we know that her daughter had the biggest dragon. Maybe she has the strongest dragon.
Oh no, Aemon has the biggest dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're right. Correct.
Yeah.
I said, well, yeah, had is what I said, but yeah, you're right. Aemon currently has, which we saw in the preview for.
Yeah.
It was good.
She Kool-Aid Man the whole thing.
Right.
Oh yeah.
I'm not gonna kill you. I'm just gonna run away and then fight you later.
Right. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What?
That was a missed opportunity right there for sure.
I didn't understand. So this is my theory. This is I'm gonna get my cousin.
It's only gonna hurt for a second.
See, now here's my problem. Rhaenys is a bad cousin. She could all right, listen, let me set this up for y'all.
My big cousin would have did it.
My big cousin got to do it. Tell me about it.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be my big cousin. You had them dead to rights behind enemy lines. They was cowering in fear. They was literally like, hold your breath, look away, you won't even feel it. Hold your breath, look away, you won't even feel. She left. Oh my God,
it's just like that other thing from that other show. At the very end, it's like, just close your eyes. It only hurt for a second.
Oh yeah, they did that. Man, I need to watch these again in parallel because there was a lot of biting going on.
The
Harfoots and Game of Thrones and yeah.
No, and it was sad because I wanted to see her do that. I think. See, here's my deal. They set it up where she doesn't kill them, so now there's still the plausibility of war or the reality of war, because that's really what's about to happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the reason she didn't, we all need to know why she didn't blast them.
Because I think she's playing the middle again.
Well, she is, and this is what she's doing. She didn't kill them, so it's like, all right, still let my cousin's kids fight it out, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you wipe out, listen, it was
everybody.
Alicent,
it was all
Aegon, Aemon, the daughter, both of them, Sir Kristen and the other one, Laris. That's his name.
That would have been everybody.
And Otto. Everybody in one shot. You wipe them out. You go get Rhaenyra. Hey, I got your kingdom for you now. Give me my shit, my grandkids, and leave me the fuck alone.
And give me half of the world.
That's
Thank you very
some real
much.
OG. Hey, cousin, I got you. Our family's still intact. If you on her side, because you even went to tell her y'all kin, basically, y'all teamed up, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you my teammate and you got to lay up Ben Simmons, I want you to dunk the ball.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah, that's like a hit.
Disrespect to Ben Simmons.
That's like bricking a layup when you have a breakaway. You know what I mean?
I mean, don't be wrong. It happens. It does happen, but no. I'm gonna need you to go ahead and take care of that. It didn't make sense. She left the door open for no reason, and because of that, I think everybody's gonna die. And the only survivors, we're gonna have one lone Targaryen survivor, and it's probably gonna be one of the bastards or something.
Mm.
And next episode, we'll officially see all of the melanin disappear out of the Targaryen line.
You mean the Valerian line?
Sorry, what did I say?
the Targaryens. Yeah.
It's only gonna now go away. Now.
And yeah, reality no script. They are the two oldest families, so I think had she pulled the trigger, had Rhaenys did it, nobody can say nothing. Nobody else holds that type of lineage.
No one could
Nobody
fault
else
it because
holds
they
that.
hanging nobles.
Mm-hmm.
They
Right.
strong arming the other nobles. So
Well,
I mean,
because
if she
they've
would have
already
did it, they'd have been
beheaded a
like,
Valerian.
cool.
Well, no, because they beheaded a Valerian this week already. So if we kill a couple of high towers and some second generation Targaryens, we'd be all right.
No. I'm not saying we don't do. I'm saying she should have gone and blasted them, so they could have all been wiped out. Nobody would have blamed her for it because the other nobles already knew they were strong arming people and trying to take
Yeah.
the crown illegally. It only made sense because everyone knew the king already said, "Let me put this to bed."
Yep.
Yeah.
Even though I did this 55 years
And
ago,
that's why he
let me go on and
died
renew
to come out there and
everybody
tell
and then
y'all
die.
this. He
No one,
literally died to come out and tell y'all all this.
right? And no one should have been. No one should have been like, well, it could have been. No, there's no questioning that.
Yeah.
He
Right.
just said, let me reiterate, this is who my heir is. Period.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I
Period.
know, and that was just a few days ago.
Literally. I think it was literally
Just a
the
few
day
days
of
ago.
or the day before he died. One of the two.
Right. Yeah. It makes no sense. It makes no
You know,
sense.
what do we think
They
of
should have just
Lars?
let him fall on the throne and die from that.
Down a spike. We
Impale
said
yourself
that he
on
had
the
a slow death on one of the swords.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That would have been at least funnier instead of watching a zombie rot.
Yeah. Every time you say that, I think of that zombie sex scene.
I know. That's why I keep saying it.
No.
I told you all the fetishes are represented.
No.
Necrophilia.
All right. So jeez. So Lord Lars. I think Lars should be dead already, but he's not. So man.
Yeah.
I don't really understand how he's alive. At this point, he's in charge. If Otto dies, he's the new hand.
He's definitely got a lot of power, that's for sure. And he likes to burn people. He likes to burn people down.
So was that the white worm burning? Was that what that's supposed to mean?
I guess so.
Oh yeah, we did. Yeah, that's exactly. So
I meant to ask about that.
Told her about, oh, do you want to know how basically the foot scene, right? Which so the information in the foot scene was being transferred of how her father, the hand, got the information about where Aegon was. And that's where we realized, like, oh, he knows about the white worm. Why does he know? Because she's basically his competition to all the secrets in King's Landing.
Well, not anymore.
Yeah. Well, see, this is me. We don't know.
Don't judge mine. She might be back.
She might not have been in there, and they just burnt it down. And then you find out she wasn't there.
I lived, bitch.
Me live now. Find me by the sea.
Blah 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 blah.
Yeah, we need to know where in
Next time on Shot Us. I knew you would get that one.
That was funny. Might be wrong.
So it's
oh, did you guys like how the dragon shrunk to get through the door?
Oh yeah, no.
When it broke through the floor.
Aerial dragon.
You didn't notice that.
Don't worry about the floor. Did you see the aerodynamics of the dragon and get through the door?
That's what I mean. It literally shrunk down. It wasn't even like it wrapped it. It tried to wrap its wings, but also they shrunk the size of the dragon to fit through the door.
No, see what had happened was you started using your mental mind, your mental mind, and you started using your brain stems and stuff because that dragon was only big enough to just destroy everything, and the door too.
Went right through the door without breaking anything.
Right.
And the only reason they did that is because if they hadn't go through the roof or destroy the structure, they would have had to make an excuse as to why they didn't kill everybody because it would have collapsed on them.
Right.
Well, you have to keep in mind that the dragon collars are made out of the same mithril combined with gold and silver that shrink you.
Whoa.
What?
Wrong universe.
You sure?
Yeah.
You sure?
You're supposed to wrap the dragons in mithril so that you don't get tetanus from the Iron Throne.
Well, I thought it helps them shrink down to the proper size of the user.
Oh. So they've been talking with Rick Moranis, and he made a shrink gun
snap.
for
Not
the
Rick
dragon.
Moranis. Honey.
I mean, how else would the dragon fit through the door after busting through the floor, and then there's just enough floor for them to stand on,
But
without it collapsing?
I
where
like
they
that
standing.
she murdered like probably dozens of innocent people, but then
half
left
of
the
Right.
enemies
in King's
alive.
Right.
Who cares about the common man? What?
Right. That was only all the townspeople that they forced in there.
And they didn't die quick deaths because she didn't kill them by fire. She killed them by blunt force trauma.
Well, no, they got
Right.
trampled. They probably fell.
Trampled. Yeah.
Some of them fell.
Got tossed into the air. Yeah, you're right. Fell to the air.
Right. There was an explosion.
Got slapped by a scaly
Shrapnel.
shell or two.
Right.
Somebody was stuck on a wing when they flew out. And
Yeah.
just got
Right.
smacked into the wall at high speeds.
You got a few
Man.
people underneath the dragon's foot, like gum.
Right. And then when the floor finished falling out where it came up, all those people probably fell in.
With the other dragons that are
With
in
the
the
other
dragon
dragons
pit.
and other food. Yep.
So I mean,
It's just,
but she did the right thing. She didn't kill the king.
Right.
You got to leave the evil and power. I mean, cousin. It's just, I think that's the only part that bothers me the most about that is she seemed to want to play this, like we said, play the middle still, and it's like, listen here, there is no middle. There's no middle.
Yeah. Well,
If you trusted them, you wouldn't be running away right now.
Yeah. Well, it's a great illustration as to why these things actually don't work for a story. Rhaenys just murdered a whole bunch of innocent people, but then left the enemy alive. And it's only because the enemy's not supposed to die yet, because the story demands that the enemy has to live longer. So it's why have this moment? Why didn't she just escape and not face them?
I keep coming to terms every time we watch these kind of shows. I come to terms with this. Some say the good die young, and these are some long ass stories.
Yeah. I mean, I just don't get the logic there. For me, it just doesn't make sense as I can't put away the sort of like disbelief. I can't suspend my disbelief for that because it makes no sense. It'd be like it would be like it would be like having the Night King killed by Arya. You know?
No way. Who?
Right.
Man,
I mean, if you can imagine such a thing. If you can imagine such a ridiculous concept, it would be like having the Night King. She's a trained
warrior, isn't she?
Yeah.
You know what? A wise man once told me, and this is somebody you know, Keelan. He told me the reason why I can't find the joy in movies and shows like this is because I have no imagination. Stop looking for logic.
Ouch. Yeah. There are some people who genuinely feel that way, that can just look at something, and enjoy for what it is. I can do that too. I just watched a movie called Dave Builds a Maze, and it's about a guy that makes a cardboard maze in his living room that ends up being a giant labyrinth that kills people.
Nice.
Jesus.
And it's a ridiculous movie, but it was really good. I enjoyed it.
Stuff I'm watching that's good. Just some of the stuff we
but
covered.
It's easy for me to suspend my disbelief if the story makes sense. But when characters do things that don't make sense, like murder, highborns in the middle of a wedding, or murder a highborn in the middle of the court council, those things don't make sense.
I got a great reference. Did you get to watch Halloween yet, Nick?
No, I haven't. No.
Halloween?
I watched it today. There's a scene where the one of the guys gets punked by a bunch of teenagers.
Wait. We don't want to give any spoilers to that yet.
No. There's no spoilers. It's just some teenagers punking a guy because he didn't want to buy beer, and I just thought it was funny. And yeah.
Tell me the teenagers are in charge of these movies? Oh man, speaking of which, that's actually something I want to talk about. Good.
Actually, that wouldn't be bad.
So, I've come to terms about something, gentlemen.
What's that?
These shows, they're so terrible to us because something that Nick and I said on Pop Culture Onslaught. It's the demographic they're being made for.
Yeah.
These are mostly high school and kid shows in adult settings.
I mean,
Like
yes, a lot of
this
them
one in
are.
particular is kind of like a fantastical medieval high school show drama almost.
Nah,
Man, this shit is
nah.
Degrassi with dragons. If you don't stop,
I don't think so because I'm gonna tell you why. If you look just through like other platforms, they got tons of fantasy stuff that's supposed to be adult oriented, but it's definitely catered to kids because you got all these teenagers running around
Right.
oh, you're
killing
talking about like
grown ups with
Vampire Diaries
magic and
and all that kind of junk.
well, not. I was thinking more like that saga or the one where they got the fairy queen and she's like this 18-year-old chick and she's going through the forest collecting people and fairies and stuff.
Okay, yeah, no, sorry.
There's a ton of them on like Netflix, man. I've watched a lot of them. I can't do it anymore.
It's too many of them. But that's that. Okay, so because you've seen more of them, I'll ask you: do you
Yeah,
think that it falls into that box? No, you said
I don't think so, but I can see where you could make that reference.
okay.
I think they try to make these for us. They try. That's
Oh
why
yeah, I
there's
think
this.
they're trying, but I think
I
it's
think that's
more
why
so
there's this
gilded for that.
overabundance of nudity in it now, or it used to be not so much
First
House,
two
but
episodes.
Game of Thrones. I mean, there was this overabundance for nudity, and I think it was more of them trying to cater to us as adults.
Well, no, but that's
But
what I'm
at
saying.
the
I don't
same
mean Game of
time,
Thrones.
yeah,
But yeah, that thing. I don't mean Game of Thrones. I mean House of Dragon specifically. Like I called it earlier, the messy little cousin. I think this is more gilded towards a little bit of a younger, maybe not high school, but like like the fresh
young
college age.
adult.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay, yeah,
yeah.
I can see that. Then yeah,
Yeah,
if we're
but House
talking
of Dragon
specifically,
specifically to get them to like, hey, well, what's Game of Thrones? Maybe I'll go watch that 100 hours of shit.
right. Nah, when you put it strictly for the House of the Dragon, then yeah, I'll go along with that
Mhm.
because they kept all the characters looking like teenage little kids and stuff,
Right.
well into their grown up years doing
Right?
inappropriate stuff.
Allison got 20-year-old kids. She's at least 35 because she was about 15, 16
Right,
when she had them.
Yeah.
right.
And she still
She
got her
got grandkids
16-year-old face.
She's
already.
got grandkids. Yeah.
Right. And she got a 16-year-old face. Like, come on, bro.
Mhm.
Same dress she wore when she was 19. Come on, bro.
She has not changed that dress. My goodness. Holy moly.
And
I
if
mean,
she has changed the dress and just not the color, then she need a new seamstress because all them shits look the same.
it is medieval times, so I mean, I don't expect all that to be done just on a regular basis.
But
Bro,
honestly,
remember
maybe
when
we just
Cersei got
guys.
her evil Vulcan fit when after her walk
Yo,
of shame?
you noticed. You right. You definitely noticed. Never
Yeah.
mind. I
She had the
changed.
Vulcan haircut. She had the all black. She even decked out the Iron Throne room.
You almost
Hmm.
gave her some what is that? Some theme music.
It's gonna sound like the intro music. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of that.
I had some
Why would
theory.
you
I had
change
some
what
songs in
works?
my head, but I was like, nope, not gonna use any of those. Ugh. Ugh. I'm sad you said that.
Well, did we miss anything else?
No, they missed
I feel
the
like
new
we just
theme
been
song
messing
since
around for
Mike
the
gonna
last
bring it up.
15 minutes anyway.
No, we have been, but since Mike bring it up, they missed the new theme song. Bring that up again.
Yeah.
Oh, oh,
Exactly. But yeah, no, we ended it. We're done. Rhaenys left to tell Rhaenyra what's going down. So Rhaenyra gonna come back with her dragons, and Rhaenys gonna be on Dragon Back, and all the kids gonna be on Dragon Back, and Daemon gonna be on Dragon Back, and the dragons gonna be on Dragon Back, and then they gonna come and her brothers and them are gonna be on Dragon Back, and then Aemon gonna be fighting, but Aegon gonna lowball, be like,
but they're gonna put a silk stocking over the screen so you won't see any of it.
Yeah.
right. I forgot. Be prepared. So everybody, get ready to turn your brightness up for next week.
All the way up.
Turn all your contract. Make your TV as bright as you can. Only to still see about half the scene.
Yeah.
I swear I thought it was just me too. Again, the second time I thought it was just me.
Well, it kind of happened in this episode too. There were a few scenes where everything was so dark. I was like, God damn it, again?
Yeah, that's how you knew a dragon was coming.
No, it was the inside scenes. It's just like the night scenes. And just
You
so
mean when
dark.
the dragon came out the floor and all the dust was everywhere and it got really
that
dark?
too.
That was
Yes.
bad.
Yeah.
There was nothing there. That was just a black screen. They're not slick.
Yeah.
They're not slick. It was
I
a
don't
black
know if you slow it down and then you pause it and
I
then you
did.
hit reverse.
No, I didn't do that much, but I did slow it down and pause it and look close. And no,
You got to play it in reverse though.
I should have took a
And then
screenshot.
it tells you to worship the Dark Lord.
Yeah.
Read the text, you try to say the words.
Right.
That's hilarious.
Your car is backwards.
Your car's.
Oh
But
man. I guess we are done.
any last thoughts though about episode 9? I think we kind of pushed them.
Honestly, I could say way more entertaining than the first 6 or 7.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, the last
for
like
sure.
3 episodes have been pretty decent.
Yeah.
They've been decent. If I'm being
Ever since they grew
critical,
up, it's a whole new season, honestly, or series, honestly.
if I'm being critical, it's only because, like I've seen a lot of people praise this show overly so in comparison to Rings of Power. And
Really?
I don't want to give it I don't want to gas it up just because Rings of Power sucked.
Listen,
So
if anybody, I'm pretty sure Nick might be along with me on this one. If you guys don't know how we possibly might rate this, go and see how we rated Rings of Power and know it ain't gonna be that much higher.
I was there.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I mean, I think it does a lot of things pretty well. I think that the first 6 episodes are kind of brutal and kind of a slog to get through.
Mm-hmm.
And these last few episodes have been more interesting, which is good. It's a shame that the season's over, and I don't know. The momentum just isn't as much there. We'll see.
I like this episode. It was a cold episode. I had to wear my thermal. It was so cold out there in the GOT, or I'm sorry, the hot D. I guess I should have wore. It was so hot out there. I shouldn't have wore cold because it's not GO. Yeah, I guess I messed that up. Oh well. Yeah, I just got a live breakdown in my head of that one. But
Not
yeah.
bar.
I mean, I don't have anything else. So when it comes to House of Dragon episode 9, we are wrapped.
Yes, sir.
We appreciate you guys here at the Screen Time Continuum. We are gonna be here for you, of course, on Sundays, on Wednesdays, but right now Sundays and Wednesdays. We don't have any shows that are dropping on Fridays or anything right now to give you anything right there. But hey, you never know what's coming up. We might just put something on docket that just goes right back into that time slot, and we'll be coming at you right then and there. For the time being, come right back here to the Screen Time Continuum on Sundays at 8:30 p.m. On Mondays, you get a little break. You're welcome. Then on Tuesdays, you can come right on over to If Numbers Could Talk right there on Facebook and YouTube. If Numbers Could Talk will be there for you at 8 p.m. on Tuesdays. You can also check out on Twitch, Strawberries and Coffee. Strawberries and Coffee will be there for you on Tuesdays and Thursdays on Twitch. You can also catch an archive of Strawberries and Coffee over on YouTube. Wednesdays, come right back here to Screen Time Continuum, 8:30 p.m. We'll be giving you the pop culture onslaught on Wednesdays for the Screen Time Continuum episodes. On Thursdays, told you again, hit that like and subscribe for Strawberries and Coffee over on Twitch. Check out that archive on YouTube. On Fridays, you'll be checking out the Exofathom. The Exofathom is available on YouTube, Facebook, Verbal, Rumble, and a couple of other places that I'm sure you already have on your phone, and you'll probably be dropping in the comment section and be like, hey, how did you forget this one? And I'll be like, I'm sorry. But definitely check out the Exofathom on Fridays, 8 p.m. Saturday morning, you can check out This Merry Moment between the hours of 10 and 12. 10 a.m., 12 p.m., just so you don't think I'm talking about like a 14-hour bracket of time? That'd be crazy. But 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., you can check out This Merry Moment on Saturdays, available on Facebook and YouTube, also available on Spotify. And then on Sundays, you can come right back here where you currently are listening to us right now, Screen Time Continuum. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. Thank you guys for telling your friends, because I know you did that already, and I know you're going to do more about that in the future, and we appreciate that. For the Screen Time Continuum, I'm Keelan.
I'm Nick.
And I'm Mike.
And we appreciate you guys. Have a good one.
Take care.